Hey, you guys, thank you so much for tuning into another installment of the Culture of Health podcast. Today's episode, I am talking to Fantasia, my beautiful wife, and we're celebrating 10 years of marriage today. So it's only fitting that we talk to you guys about one of the most important aspects to a relationship, and that's sex. And it's so important because not only does it contribute to your overall health, but it also contributes to the health of your relationship. And Fantasia wants to break down 10 different ways that you can spice up and prioritize and bring back to life the sex in your marriage for better health outcomes, for better better times, better
better everything.
better everything. So yeah, I'm just gonna get out the way.
It's so funny. You say bring back to life. I wonder what that means. We shall find out.
Listen, man. If you've been married long enough, there has been a time in your life, in your marriage, where it just wasn't there.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Feel it. So, number one.
Talk about it.
It's communicate. We have to communicate. I feel like it's cliche. We heard it before. So many things about relationships, you got to communicate. But when it comes to sex, you got to communicate too. You have to talk about your needs. You got to talk about what you like and what you may not like. And then finally, I think you have to express gratitude. So all of those things are ways that you can communicate with your spouse.
Express gratitude, like how?
I mean,
Like you being like, ooh, thank you so much.
whatever
Like that.
way matters, you know, just in whatever that means for you and how
Yeah.
you do it. Everybody's different, but I know that, you know, what we alluded to earlier is just bringing things back to life. Like you had to kind of, in a sense, like advocate for your needs early on in our marriage or after we.
I was at home. I had a picket, a sign.
Oh my gosh.
I had a big Sharpie, and it was like, this ain't enough.
No, it wasn't like that. Actually, I remember it being like, you printed out, I just found this paper actually. Like you printed out this paper and it talks about like rating your marriage. And I think it was like your roundabout way.
My passive aggressive.
Yes, it was to tell me. But it was cute because you did like research or whatever, but you printed one out for you and one out for me. And we're supposed to rate our marriage. I think the paper is still blank because we never did it because I was like, what? Like, what are you trying to say? You know?
Yeah. Meanwhile, I'm trying to like deliver a succinct message in a nice way, and you're like, just say it.
Yes.
What is it?
Yeah, I was a little bit more vocal back then. But you basically just wanted to tell me that we weren't having sex enough.
Yeah.
And I feel like we had good reason for that, but didn't really know, I guess, how important it still was to make time for it.
Yeah.
You know, I think early on when we got together back in 2011, like having sex was no problem. It was like, yeah, like that's what
you do.
It was, yes, it was fun, right? This was prior to us being married. So we got married 2 years later, and we were pregnant when we got married. So things changed quickly for us. And you know,
Things changed quickly for you.
Well, okay, yes,
Then they changed for me after they changed for you.
But we were thrusted into parenthood. And I think that just, you don't know how to prepare for that until you go through it. So just the toll that it takes on your body as a woman, it's a lot. And so how can you really prioritize sex and your spouse when you're like tired?
This is
And I know
true.
that sounds bad. It sounds so bad, but it's so true. And I know other women can just relate to me on that.
Definitely.
You know, I mean, not only are you tired, but you also breastfeeding. So while your husband is, you know, on one side of you, you know, trying to get it on, you got the baby on the other side, and your breast don't understand what's going on. It's trying to produce milk. Like,
I feel that. But that's why it's so important to have these conversations, to communicate about it, because all those reasons are valid. The negative effects of lack of sex are still felt, you know?
Exactly.
And just to reiterate, you guys, like, you know, when it comes to like your health, which this podcast is all about, like what we want to do is equip you guys with the tools to improve the culture of health in your home, in your family, in your life. And your closest relationships play the biggest role. The people you spend the most time with, the quality of the relationships, the health of the relationships. And if you're married, like we are, and you're not having sex, that puts a strain, man. That's stress. Like me, man, I be stressed, bro. I'm
No.
stressed.
Oh,
After
dang.
2-3 days, I'm like, what am I
And
supposed to do?
and back then, we were probably having sex like once a week, once or twice a week, maybe.
Once a week.
I don't know.
At its worst, it was like
Once a week.
once every 10 days.
Oh my
At
gosh.
some
Oh,
point,
I feel like, oh, that just rings a bell. Like I
I
can
was
hear you
counting,
saying
boy.
that
I had a
before.
calendar with X's every time it didn't happen.
I'm so sorry. I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
okay.
That's all I can say. All right. So number 2 is be patient and grow into your future self. So who I am today, who you are, who we are together, what our sex life is now is different than what it was before. And so I experienced a lot of growth in that area. My kids grew up. I got my sleep back. I learned how to not be stressed out. And yeah, and I think also you had a vision of the wife that you wanted back then.
10 years ago.
And
When I was making all those X's on the calendar, every time it didn't happen, I was holding on strong to faith. I just knew. I was like, this is not my destiny.
oh, that's so
I didn't
funny.
get married for once every 10 days.
That's hilarious.
But no, for real, like, I think that being patient is important because as much as my needs should be met, I can't sit here and be like so selfish to the point where I don't acknowledge all the things that you're going through. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying? Especially
yeah.
like the first, 6-7 years, like back to back babies, you know?
Yeah.
So that does a lot. And so like, yeah, like you read all these articles and it's like, yeah, women hit their prime when they hit their 30s. I'm like, shit, I
He's
bet.
like, wait, yeah.
I was like, bet.
And then what's
I could wait.
crazy is that actually kind of happened
Right.
for you. So like I'm 35 now.
I manifested that.
Yes. And I would say that around, honestly, 2020 was a big year for a lot of people, but it was a big year for us in really like all the right ways. A lot of stuff kind of got shifted, exposed, turned upside down, whatever. But that was a really big year of growth for me. And it kind of brings me to another point, which is, shoot, what's my other point?
What is your other point?
Sorry. So basically it's speaking to people, like having a trusted friend, talking to a trusted friend through everything, that you're kind of going through. So I have a best friend. Shout out to Moo.
Shout out to Moo.
And Moo has been there we've known each other since middle school. So she's been there all along for all of these things. And it's cool because we have children around the same age. We went through a lot of the same stuff, what we call the fog of like parenthood and mommyhood, like very early on. So we were in this fog for years, just kind of trying to maintain. I mean, think of like survival mode and all those things. And we were married through that, but we weren't exactly our best selves. So 2020 came and I don't know, like my mind was really open to a lot. I talked to her about a lot of stuff, mindset changes and everything. And it really, I think, helped me to become closer to you. Another thing that happened in 2020 was we got, is that when I got CBD again? Or we got a pen. I was reintroduced to the benefits of CBD and THC.
Cannabis.
And when I tell y'all that really helped to change the game for me.
Change the game.
Like I'm a proponent of using cannabis and CBD for all things health related. But when it comes to your sex life,
Sometimes you just need that like reminder.
you just need a little push, yeah. And I've used it before we got married, but naturally, had kids, stopped using it. But then was reintroduced to it, and it just like loosens you up. It like, okay, not literally.
All right, now.
No, because you want the opposite of that. But I mean, like it just makes you feel freer. It helps with like stress relief and
More confident.
You're more, oh yes, the confidence part, which is a huge part of like you just, being there sexually for your spouse. So that's a tip for y'all. If you want to experience a change in your sex life, I definitely highly encourage. As women, I don't really know the effect on men. I don't know.
It's the same.
It helps for y'all too, right?
Yeah, I
Okay.
think so.
It helps with like stamina.
Yeah, maybe sometimes to our detriment. It's like, all
Right.
right, bro, this is taking a little too long.
Yeah. But yeah, it definitely helps with confidence. So I say experiment with that.
So that was third tip was be
It
oh
was
talk to
have
a
a
friend,
friend.
talk to a
Yeah, kind
friend.
of have a
Yeah,
friend to have along that journey with you. And
yeah.
I feel like my friend serves as like an accountability partner for me. I mean, we don't talk about all the things, but at the same time, we talk about a lot of stuff. Austin's like, so what y'all really be saying?
Telling all my business.
I mean, but it's for a good reason. It's like it's cool. We talk about like different herbs to try, like other than like CBD or whatever. But it's really fun
It's
for me.
enriching.
It's enriching.
Yeah, it's good to have the perspective of someone that you trust that has the best interests of your relationship in
Yes.
mind, who can get you out of your head. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because when
Yeah.
you're stuck in your own relationship
Yep.
and you feel how you feel,
Yeah.
no one can really pull you out of
Yeah.
that if you're not talking to people about it.
Yep. And
So
she's like, girl, like, what? How long has it been?
you
7 days.
tripping.
Like,
Yeah,
what?
yeah,
I need
yeah.
you, like, come on, let's get to the bottom of
Get
this. I
her
need you to
together.
every time I get off the phone with her, Austin's like, he's like, what do you say? I love when you talk to her because we always have sex after.
Love when you talk to Moo.
But yeah, so have a friend. Just,
Mm-hmm.
find somebody who can kind of help you out.
So you'll hear us mention later in the podcast about how important your health is for maintaining a thriving sex life. Because if you're not in the mood to do it, there could be something going on inside of your body that's hating on you. One of the many things that many of us are sleeping on when it comes to how we feel throughout the day is our gut health. The thing is, your gut and your brain are actually intricately connected, and how you see, feel, and experience the world is influenced by the signals being sent by your gut. So if your gut health is off, you may not always be in the mood. And that's why supporting your gut is one of the most important aspects of improving your overall quality of life. You can do that by getting enough fiber in your diet, but let's be honest, that's not always easy when you're busy or when you're cooking for your kids and they're really picky like ours. That's why we love using Super Guts Fiber Mix. Each stick has 8 grams of prebiotic fiber, which is great to pair with a probiotic. The resistant starch fiber feeds the good bacteria in your gut, decreases the population of bad bacteria, and can help you feel full, sustain healthier weight, and even improve your blood sugar. Personally, my favorite thing about the powder is that you can mix it in just about anything, whether it's oatmeal, a smoothie, or even spaghetti. Whoever is eating it will have absolutely no idea, and they'll even compliment you after they taste it. Supergut's Fiber Mix is an easy way to kickstart your gut into being a more trustworthy co-pilot for your brain, which can help you keep your marriage alive. If improving your gut health is a priority for you, I highly recommend you check out Supergut's Fiber Mix. I left a link for you in the show notes, and you should check out this dope product and some of the other cool things that they have to offer that help you improve your gut health. In addition to doing all the things you can at home to maintain high levels of intimacy with your partner, it's also important to get objective data about your well-being to guide your decision making. This often means getting labs done and seeing your family doctor. As accessible as they try to make these kinds of services, we all know that having proper health insurance can be a barrier, especially as an independent contractor. You feel like your options are limited due to not having the traditional coverage that comes with having a traditional job. Thankfully, there's a remedy for that. And that remedy is called Access Benefit Consultants. They're one of the partners of this podcast, and they help people find affordable coverage despite their employment status. For me, that looked like reaching out to them, finding an agent, sharing some details of my personal situation, and having several options to choose from within 24 hours. Pairing good health insurance with all the additional things we do on a daily basis to protect our health is the best combination of preventive care. If you're in need of a health insurance plan, or you simply want to know what your options are in case you're exploring self-employment options, I highly recommend you reach out to Access. You can head over to accessbenefits.com and generate your own quote and even enroll yourself. Or you can submit the form on their page and one of their agents will reach out to you in no time. Again, that's accessbenefits.com.
So then another point is, so number 4 is to be open and try new things. So we talked about maybe trying some, supplements to help you. There are a lot of them out there, actually. I have like an oil that I have never used. It says female libido. I got it from Sprouts. But I've never used it. I've just been nervous too. What do you think? What are some new things that you think people can try?
Fellas, I'm gonna give y'all the biggest tip, man. It's gonna help y'all out tremendously. Wash dishes, do the
I thought you
laundry,
were gonna say something.
mop the floor. I'm serious.
Oh,
That was,
right.
I
No,
think that was the
seriously.
biggest, like, for me personally,
Yeah.
that was the biggest thing. Cause like, you know what I'm saying? I'm in the gym 6, 7 days a week. I think I look decent, you know? And it doesn't matter what I try in the bedroom to make it more interesting. I gotta get there. You know what I'm saying? And if I'm
That's
not doing the
interesting.
things to be helpful, to keep you like in the mood, then you know what I'm saying, all the energy that I bring is pointless. Like it's not going to be received. So that's what I
Yeah.
would recommend.
That's a really great tip. Y'all heard that out there? Like seriously, go home and be helpful and
Wash
see how that
dishes.
changes. See how that changes your marriage.
That's
Like
the best, like, what do they call it? Not pregame, but
foreplay.
foreplay. Yes. Clean up.
Pregame.
Clean up the house, bro.
Yeah.
Put the kids to bed. Cook dinner.
Yes, yes. Let her go have a break, some
Yes,
time to
bro.
herself. She
Man,
will miss you while she's gone.
Send her out on a break.
Yes.
Send her a little kissy face emoji. You know what I'm
But what
saying?
that's not genuine when you do that to me?
I mean, I'm setting you
Oh,
up.
okay.
I mean, it's just baked in now. Like I see how much it benefits you for me to take a more active role in the household, and that benefit and that ends up benefiting me. So
Yes.
why would I not do it?
It's everything. Thank you for realizing that. I appreciate it so much.
I wish I figured that out sooner. I'm sitting here printing out.
You're doing all the research, and all you had to do was just be helpful. Well,
All I
okay,
had
you
to-
were helpful.
I was.
But just a little bit more helpful. And I think what I was talking about the mindset change and everything, that came along because I started supporting to myself more. Like we started to take breaks. So during 2020 and lockdown, there weren't many places that you could go.
Right.
But we would give ourselves like 4-hour breaks. So you would have like 4 hours and I would have 4 hours to do what we needed to do to pour into ourselves and get away from the craziness of the house. And I would literally go and read. And I think just stimulating my mind, having time to think, that really helped me. So while I was doing that, you were at home taking care of the kids. And then, we'd rotate
Yeah.
and everybody would be fulfilled. So
Right.
I love that. So on a little more spicy side, there are some things that I said that I never let you do.
That I did.
So I kind of let my guard down in some ways and allowed curiosity to take over.
Why was your guard up in the first place when you married, though?
You always, like you've said this before, and I don't know. I mean, partly I think that I'm a naturally kind of like shy person. And it's like, well, why are you shy with your husband?
With your husband.
But I don't know. I'm sorry. I don't know. But I think, after I have some help with my supplements, that gets me out of my shell.
Yeah. But you don't rely on that now.
No,
though.
I don't rely on it. I think it just helps sometimes to like kickstart things. So, you kind of use it for a little bit of time and then you can, you take a break.
Right.
And the effects last.
Yes.
So
Yeah,
no,
100%.
I don't fully need that. But it's cool when as a woman you are like, you go through this period of like reinvention, and you need to be reminded sometimes.
Like reminded who you are.
Who you are, who you were, before kids, how to look at yourself in the mirror and like really just tell yourself all the good things about you. You know what I'm saying? That you're
Yeah.
sexy, that you're confident, that you
Yeah,
got it.
yeah,
Like
yeah.
all of that.
That's one of the
It takes
first things that goes. Like once you become
Yeah.
a mother, it's like you throw away your sexual identity.
Some
in a
people
sense.
do. I mean, not everybody.
Yeah, a
But
lot of
I
people
would say
do.
that a lot of women do. Yeah. And I think we need to be reminded of that.
Right.
So
Ways to be reminded of that.
I was
Some
talking about
spicy-
trying new things.
Yeah.
And I was talking about like how I said I would never, like hell would freeze over before I let you record me.
Hell has
Oh.
frozen. I'm happy to report that hell has frozen over.
We don't have to go into specifics at all because this is not what this is about. But I just say like try new stuff. You will be thankful for it. So whatever y'all come to an agreement about, you know what I'm saying? Like husbands, listen to your wives. Wives, listen to your husbands because it might be fun in the end.
Yeah.
Yeah. So number 5 is focus on pleasing the other person. And I just talked about having fun, but like you're married, so nothing's just about you anymore.
Not anymore.
Not anymore. And so make sure your spouse feels like valued and cared for. And if you're both doing that for one another, like nobody's left out. Everyone's fulfilled in that.
And that's
You know?
hard sometimes. I don't think that comes naturally to people.
to be selfless.
Yeah. I mean, because think even
And the-
outside of the bedroom,
Okay,
like
that's what I was about to say.
to serve someone, because oftentimes it's in spite of yourself, right?
Yeah.
It's like, even if you are talking about having sex, like you don't always want to do it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But sometimes you get outside of yourself because you know it's something
Right.
that I want to do.
Right.
Or vice versa.
Yeah.
No, I mean,
Not really.
I was trying to make you feel better.
Yeah, no, I mean, I think today it's like a genuine, like, I want to, but like, in the past, I think what helped me with that was like, what did I decide? What did I commit to? You know what I'm saying? Like, if I said, all right, or if I'm counting the days and I know that it's been a few days, I'm like, all right, we gotta have sex today. So just go ahead, Fantasia, and get it in the mood. And then every time, like after, I'm always like, or during, I'm like, dang. Like, why didn't we do this sooner?
Tripping.
But it's like, I allowed all the things and the stress of life to like block me from that moment. You know what I'm saying? So going back to the bedroom specifically, focus on pleasing the other person. And I think from that, you get like gratification. You get
100%.
satisfaction out of knowing that your spouse is being pleased, you know?
Right.
And then, yeah.
And that's your partner, man.
Yeah. And yeah.
You want them to feel good.
So number
6.
thank you, is use your senses, like all of them, to create a unique experience for
How many
you guys.
senses we got?
Well, I think 5, right? So you have,
It might have released some new ones.
It might have released some new ones.
Yeah, we got taste, touch, smell,
hearing.
see, and hear. Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
So you go back with your spouse and go through each of those and like think about ways that you can enhance your experience by using them.
Yeah.
You know, obviously some stuff like, I mean, hearing is like adding music. Or I don't know if you're into like soft music or sounds or
Hey, man, there's people that be into some-
whatever floats your boat. Okay. But just make sure, speaking of music, we've had trouble finding a playlist. It is so hard.
Listen, man. Y'all folks who put them playlists together on Spotify, dog,
They are wrong.
it'd be like, it would be a good song.
Yeah.
And then like, Beat It by Michael Jackson will come on. And I get it, right? Kind of. But like,
No,
bro.
No.
Or Thriller. What am I supposed to?
It's crazy.
Those playlists are trash.
So if you guys have one in mind, feel free to drop it in the comments and let us know, because we're struggling over here.
So there's a sneaky issue that's causing more problems with sexual health than people realize. Can you guess what it is? Nice. Okay, I really don't know if you got it right. I'm talking about metabolic syndrome, which is oftentimes rooted in poor glucose control. I can speak very clearly to this as someone who used to be pre-diabetic. For me, it never manifested as sexual dysfunction, but for many others, it is, and they may not know there's a solution. No, this isn't an ad for Viagra. I'm talking about learning how to stabilize your glucose, and I do that with Levels. Levels is an app that uses continuous glucose monitoring to show you how food is affecting your health. That might sound complicated, but I promise it's simple. You see, your glucose is fluctuating all day, and it's primarily due to what you eat. If you can manage to improve your diet based on the feedback you're getting about your glucose levels from the app, you may notice that you'll have sustained energy, sharp memory, healthier weight, and a host of other benefits that we could all probably use more of. Here's how it works. When you sign up, you receive 2 sensors that last 14 days each. After applying the sensor to the back of your arm, you begin receiving instant and continuous feedback about how your food choices are affecting your glucose levels. It's a level of accountability that's completely changed the way I eat, and I'm sure it would change the way that you eat as well. If you're ready to accept responsibility for your health and ready to learn more about your body, I can't speak more highly about what Levels is building and how they're helping thousands of people see how food is affecting their health. If that sounds like something you can use in your life, I've dropped an affiliate link in the description of this video, and if you sign up using that link, you'll receive an additional 2 free months on your annual experience. I just ask that you do one thing, just one thing. Keep me posted about your experience. I'd love to hear all about how Levels is helping you improve your health. You know, it's sad that a lot of people don't start taking their health seriously until something happens. It could be something serious, like a life-threatening condition, or it could be something not as serious, like having a night where you're trying to get active with your partner and, well, you don't show up how you imagined. At that point, people start doing all the things like taking ashwagandha, beetroot powder, maca root. And I'm not saying those things aren't helpful, but what if you could just cover your nutritional bases as a preventive measure to help prevent things like that from happening in the first place? Well, you can. This is where AG1 by Athletic Greens comes into play. One scoop of AG1 delivers comprehensive and convenient daily nutrition with 75 vitamins and minerals, and it even includes probiotic and digestive enzymes. I've been able to easily turn this into a habit because it's literally one of the first things I do when I wake up in the morning. By the time I'm well into my morning, I've done something to improve my gut health, immune function, and mental clarity. Again, this happens every single morning. So when the day takes off and I'm running from one thing to the next, I have peace of mind knowing that my body has already gotten what it needs. It's the most comprehensive preventive measure I'm taking to maintain good health and, well, to be a good partner. If you're ready to take complete ownership of your health, today is a good time to start. Athletic Greens is offering you a whole year's worth of vitamin D and 5 free travel packs with your first purchase. To take advantage of this exclusive offer, head over to athleticgreens.com/TCHP. Again, that's athleticgreens.com/TCHP.
Okay, so yes, so hearing, we talked about that. Smelling, obviously you can use candles, essential oils, lotions, and taste. I'm gonna let y'all, figure that one out, but you should explore it. Highly recommend that. Touch, like massage is always good beforehand. And then sight, it's just looking at your partner.
This is why it's important to prioritize your health. Because you are
Which
being
is our
seen.
next point.
Yeah, you're being seen.
So
And
number
you want to feel
7.
confident about how you look. Like that's an aspect to it. We are humans and we find the opposite sex oftentimes, well, sometimes same sex, attractive, And if you want to be found attractive, then you have to start with prioritizing your health, which takes us to point number 7.
So number 7, prioritize good health. So like also saying, taking pride in how you look is important, and overall being confident with how you look, because we all have different goals. We have body goals or whatever, but we're all on different we're all at different places in our journey.
Yeah.
So I think that one of those things we were talking about, like low confidence, like you can be like really self-conscious, about your body. And I feel like a tip for that is just like looking at yourself in the mirror or in like making yourself feel sexy, buying cute clothes, or allow your spouse to buy cute clothes, do it together. I really think that helps. Like just glance at yourself in the mirror, do your little dance, whatever.
Do your little dance.
And then go out and like go to your spouse and let them see you.
Yeah. And then on a more like, internal level, as far as prioritizing your health, is how you feel. Like, you got to be real with yourself. Like, if you don't feel good, we ain't, teens anymore where we can go out, drink a whole bunch, eat whatever we want, and then come home in the evening and still feel good. Like, you do that now, man. We 30 in our 30s. Like, man, you're not gonna be up to doing anything for anybody else.
Yeah.
Including pleasing your spouse. So, prioritizing your health, and that's like in an acute circumstance, but even chronically, like there are things that, prevent your ability to have good sexual health, diabetes, high blood pressure, the other many chronic conditions that we are dealing with in our community, even stress and anxiety. Like these things impact your ability to have a strong libido. So, like when you look at the pyramid of things that impact like health or that impact like your life, and we're talking about relationships at the foundation of it, like taking care of your body is a prerequisite before you get to the bottom. Because if you're not taking care of your body, you're gonna have a hard time doing all the things that Fantasia just mentioned. Think about like, keep an open mind, doing things differently. Like hell froze over for me, but hell ain't gonna freeze over
It's so crazy
for everybody. I'm just playing. Yeah. Anyway, take really good care of yourself so that when the time does come for you to do that, you actually feel like doing it.
Yeah.
You're in a good mood. You ain't got to be like, oh, I got a headache. Or,
Right.
you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Yeah. You definitely want to feel good before and after. So eat good food, have a little stress, and move your body.
Drink some water.
Drink some water, get some sunlight,
All that.
do those things, and it'll really like impact your day and your ability to enjoy the experience. So number 8 is try to have more daytime sex. So this is something that I feel like we're still like in progress with because we have like a little miniature human in our house during the day. So we have our 4-year-old is still home, and
We don't care.
okay, yeah. So most times he's like, sometimes he's like oblivious, but I think this is a personal goal for me, because I know that there are certain like benefits from having sex during the day. I mean, one, you're not tired. You know, like you wait till the end of the night and the chances are that you're going to be tired. You're ready to go to sleep. So then you have more energy during the day, but you also benefit from having more energy after having sex. And
Right.
that's, just think about it. That's like a great start to your day.
100%.
Whether it's in the morning, afternoon, whatever. But yeah, try that out. I was going to say, let us know how it goes, but don't.
We don't care.
No, we don't care.
We want to give y'all the keys, but
And
don't
give you the keys and let you be.
let you run with it, man. Don't y'all come back talking to us about y'all stuff.
Yeah, just kidding. I mean, I don't know. We're here. Number 9 is to actually prioritize sex. We kind of talked about that a lot, but that's like the overarching thing, right? It's to be intentional, make sure you're communicating, but prioritize it, like for real. Like
How do you do that?
I think it's just
How have you done that?
I just made a decision. It's just important to me now, for all of the reasons that we discussed before. I think it's like a ripple effect of like I literally know the benefits of doing it. I know how much closer we are because of it. I mean, there's just so many benefits, and I'm not gonna like purposely miss out on that stuff.
Right, exactly.
Especially now that I have more time, energy, and just freedom.
I think that you've done a better job with like you said, the last tip, like doing it in the daytime.
Yeah.
Like saying, okay, in your mind,
Yeah.
saying from this time to this time, make myself available, or shoot me a text like, hey, what you doing right now?
Yeah.
Or being mindful, like you keep track of how much time has gone by since we last did it. That's another way. I think a lot of people are cool with like the calendar,
Yeah.
like scheduling it. Some
Yeah.
people actually have to schedule it when you have really busy lives. Thankfully, we live a lot of our lives together. We do a
Right.
lot of stuff together, but there are a lot of people out there who work full-time
Right.
jobs, and you're outside of the house, and then you get home and there's kids and dinner, and then there's work after work. So in order to really prioritize that, like it becomes easier for us. We're literally around each other all the time. A lot of couples are not. And so putting it on a calendar sometimes, kind of has to be done. True, getting babysitter just so you can do it.
I mean, wait, have we done that? Maybe not.
I mean, yeah.
Not just so we can do
No, I
it.
mean,
Well, we have a break, but it's like,
yeah.
all right, let's
Yeah.
take advantage of this break.
But like making it a priority, saying, just like you wake up in the morning and brush your teeth every day, it's an expectation. There's got to be some type of an expectation for the amount of time that you spend with your partner intimately.
Yeah, I agree. I think that's really benefited us. And I'm proud of myself.
Me too. Proud of you.
Thank you. All right. Okay. So the last tip, we're on number 10, right?
Number 10?
Okay. So is to learn, is to educate yourself. And the fact that you've listened to this podcast means that you've done that.
Congratulations.
Yeah. So now you can take it a step further. You can, talk about it with your trusted friend, talk about it with your spouse, really, just make a plan to prioritize it. But there's a lot of information out there about the benefits of sex. I think that oftentimes the topic is a little like, there's like a stigma around it, right? But it doesn't have to be like vulgar and, obscene. It's really like we're all adults. So,
Yeah. I mean, I think it's so vulgar and obscene because oftentimes is not spoken about in the context of a healthy relationship.
Yeah.
You know, and that's the context with which we're speaking of, because I think that, you know, as many health benefits come with being sexually active, I think that there's a dark side to that when you're sexually active with the wrong person or people, you know. So perhaps the most important thing to all of this is to choose the right partner.
Yeah.
And of course, this was addressed to married couples, but if you're listening to this and you're not married, don't just go out here and be like, oh, well, Austin and Fantasia said to have more sex. So
No.
like, no. The point of this is to choose a trusted partner, ideally someone that you're committed to for the long haul. Someone that you can learn with and grow with.
Yes.
But-
Growth is everything.
Yeah.
Doing it together is pretty cool. It's amazing.
But yeah, that's really like when you talk about like learning, like you learn and you become proficient at things that you do over and over and over and over again. So putting yourself in a position where, you know, you're always doing it, like you have no choice but to like, okay, yeah, she likes this. Okay, yeah, I got, you know, shit, it's been 10 years. Like,
Funny. Yeah. Oh, I had another point. It's not like one of the 10 things, but I just said that, you know, I just said that it's like God knew that we'd be together forever. So like we needed to keep things fresh. You know,
Right.
I think that every time is different. Like no time that you have sex is the same. What?
Why
Also,
is it different?
he's rolling his eyes right now. Why is it different?
Yeah.
You're saying because I don't remember?
you don't remember. Of course it's
I
different.
have this like amnesia. It's so weird. It's not like I don't remember. It's like I remember certain parts of it. Anyway, I'm somebody out there relates to me.
I take that personally.
Or especially if it's like at night and then I wake up in the morning. It's just like, I think that's a cool thing, you know? I think for women, it's kind of like, okay, it's like childbirth. You don't remember how much, this is stupid, but
No, it's
you
not.
don't remember how much pain
Yeah.
you were in.
When you
right?
got pregnant
When you-
again.
When you got pregnant again.
Yeah.
You just, you know, you forgot all that.
Right.
And so this is not really helping my point,
I mean, but you know, it's all good because you basically doing it for the first time for the rest of your life.
yeah, and that's dope. I think that's really cool.
Good for you.
Yes. So anyway, do all the things. Be spontaneous. Do stuff, you know, break the rules. I
YOLO.
don't know. I'm trying to like, you know, encourage people to really take things to the next level.
Yeah. Man, you only live once. Not as a sign for you to be reckless, but to explore. You know?
Yeah.
I wish we could get into some of the health benefits of sex. Maybe we can do that on another episode.
should, yeah.
Like a more scientific breakdown of what's going on with your body. But yeah, like when you have a trusted partner,
Yeah, we're talking about marriage though, specifically.
yeah, when you're married, like you can't be withholding from each other. Nor I don't know if there's such thing as a successful relationship void of sex, void of intimacy. That's just, you know, it's a part of it.
Yeah, it's
And-
part of our biological makeup.
Yeah, and it's something that unfortunately in today's world, like, you know, we're not sitting around like our early ancestors were. Like, you know, we all busy now. They ain't had no jobs. I mean, they hunted
Oh my
and
gosh.
they hunted and stuff like that. But you know what I'm saying? They was chilling in the cave, drawing on the wall. You know what I'm saying? And then it was just like, boom, they just did what they did. But we've got so many different stressors involved in
They were running from animals and stuff.
dinosaurs.
No, we're kidding. But there are a lot of stressors in life. There are so many things to kind of, you know, get you distracted.
And if you're not intentional about prioritizing it, then you will miss out on the benefits and you will experience what are the opposite of benefits?
Consequences.
You'll experience the consequences of not doing the things that Fantasia just mentioned.
All 10 of them.
All 10 of them. Cool.
So yeah, that was fun. Now that you know better, go and do better.
Go do better.
We're excited for
Be
your
better.
future.
Tell your partner where you learn all your cool tips from.
Yes, and drop the playlist suggestions in the comments for me. I'm so serious. Y'all gonna see. Look, when you go look it up, you can be like, they were right. Dang,
I should link some in the show notes just to call them out how bad they were.
it's funny. But anyway, yes, thank you for listening to this episode of the Culture of Health podcast. We really hope it improves your marriage in a number of ways. If you haven't already, please, you know, like this episode, subscribe to the channel, share it with a friend, and follow us find us on Instagram. My handle is fantasia.mcguffey. And Austin's is,
Same. Austin.mcguffey.
yes.
Yeah. Cool. Thanks for tuning in, you guys. And we'll catch you on the next episode.
Bye.